Welcome to this new video, where we're going to talk a little bit about current events. Racing games, because after Gamescom and after the Tokyo Game Show, during which we had a lot of announcements about Forza Horizon 6 Project Motor Racing and many other racing game titles, now comes the Sim Racing Expo. It's a game festival focused on racing games that will take place in a few weeks. Racing game developers and publishers will use this time to promote many games and share updates on previously announced titles. That's true for two of them, as today we'll discuss exciting news about Forza Horizon 6, focusing on its technical features and graphics. We'll also discuss Assetto Corsa. After many delays, with update 0.3, they're now teasing 0.4, which will be officially announced at the Sim Racing Expo. If you like racing games and sim racing, subscribe to my channel, because of course, as soon as there's any news, and there will definitely be a lot, I'll talk about it in a video. As I was saying, we're starting with some exciting news about Forza Horizon 6 because, and you can let me know your opinion about this in the comments, I think they're going in the right direction and they give us hope. Forza Horizon 6 will be more different from Forza Horizon 5 than Horizon 5 was from Horizon 4. Why is that? Already? As for the technical side, that's something the developers talked about again this week. Playground Games says Forza Horizon 6 will be the first, and possibly only, Forza Horizon focused solely on this console generation. Horizon 5 came out on Series X, Series S, and Xbox One. What if Forza Horizon 7 was released one day? But really, that's looking way too far ahead. There's a good chance it wouldn't just come out on the current generation, but also on the next one. What's pretty cool is that this Forza Horizon 6 will really be dedicated to the current generation. That will generally allow for a better-looking game. First, the processors and graphics cards in current consoles are more powerful than those in the one, but also, and maybe even more importantly, because the current generation of consoles is fully equipped with S6 SSD-type hard drives, unlike the previous generation of Xbox, which still used mechanical hard drives, HDDs. You might think this doesn't matter for graphics, but it does, since modern games use texture streaming. Graphic textures, 3D models, and sounds are loaded from the disk as needed. In other words, they're based on consoles that have SSDs, which are much more powerful than the old generation of hard drives from the Xbox One. Forza will be able to offer a game with much more precise, much more detailed textures, which wasn't possible before, because higher quality textures are generally heavier on the hard drive. The old console's hard drive speeds made loading heavier textures impossible. Otherwise, you'd get a blurry or occasionally laggy game, like Forza Horizon 5 sometimes was, even though it was optimized for regular hard drives. Sometimes while driving, the scenery would freeze briefly, and you might go through ground textures that hadn't loaded yet. That could be a major advantage of Forza Horizon 6. The second thing is that this Forza Horizon 6 will also be the first Forza Horizon to be developed using the new version of the Forza Tech engine. Forza Tech is the graphics and physics engine that Forza uses for its development. It has always evolved, and for Forza Horizon 6, we'll have an improved version that was tested with Forza Motorsport, released in 2023. So, that doesn't mean Forza Horizon 6 will look like Forza Motorsport. It means this engine natively considers more factors in graphics and physics rendering. It was made specifically for Forza Motorsport. I'll show you some Fujimi Kaito gameplay in the background. A track in Japan from Forza Motorsport. The scenery is incredible. The quality of the vegetation, the detail of the roads, the lighting management. It's much better than Forza Horizon 5, and we'll experience all this in Forza Horizon 6 with the same artistic and graphic style, which will probably have, as a result, slightly more saturated colors and a look that's, let's say, a bit shinier and brighter. The studio said more people have joined the Forza Horizon 6 team than for Forza Horizon 5, which is notable since the team now has about 430 members. Now, that's actually good news too, because it means there's never been so many resources and so much staff working on the development of a Forza Horizon game. Then, one of the people working in the art direction of Forza Horizon 6 gave some additional details about the map and the atmosphere. Nothing groundbreaking, but we still learned a few things from his interview. That, of course, and we could have guessed it, but now it's kind of confirmed. That, yes, the city of Tokyo will probably be central. Yes, the map will be the largest we've ever had in a Forza Horizon game, and it will also have the biggest city. But, and this is now confirmed as well, we will indeed have coastal roads. I'll add photos during editing to show some landscapes, as well as rural roads, plains, and rice fields. Above all, that's pretty cool. They mention heavy city traffic, so we need to see how bad the congestion is. One consistent criticism of Forza Horizon games, especially in cities, is their lack of content. There aren't many cars or people around. Few civilians, vehicles, or pedestrians. Everyone knows Tokyo is crowded with cars and pedestrians, so there's a good chance that in Forza Horizon 6 they made an effort that made it possible, especially since the game is also made for the current generation, regarding the number of cars on the roads. Now, when we talk about being saturated, I have a hard time believing it, and honestly, it's not necessarily super cool to really have traffic jams 24/7. If cities have twice as many cars as Forza Horizon 5, that'll be cool, and we'll still have plenty of space to get through. Anyway, there you go. It seems to be going in the right direction too. And then we have confirmation that the seasons will have a much deeper impact on the world than they did in Forza Horizon 5. Fortunately, in Horizon 5 they had almost none. But here, they've confirmed that spring, summer, autumn, and winter will also change the colors. So here, I guess it's mainly the look of the sky, the sunlight, and the vegetation, with different flowers or different trees that will grow or not, depending on the seasons. The sounds are the same. Depending on the season, there may be more or fewer people on the roads. Maybe not necessarily the same animals all the time, so maybe different sounds, but maybe it will go even further. Considering that, depending on the season and the weather, the atmospheric pressure is not the same. Even the sound of a car differs between winter and summer. And these seasons also change activities. So here, you can imagine pretty much anything you want. But for example, you can imagine that in summer, the focus will be on pure speed and a bit of an underground vibe, with nights that last longer. Include hill climbs, city street races like in Horizon 5, and some highway races. In Wangan, you can imagine that in autumn, maybe there will be a focus on drifting and more countryside races, the off-road part of the game to take advantage of the difference in driving in the mud, which might be a bit more intense in autumn than in summer, for example. In spring, maybe there will be a bit more focus on rallying in the hills, or even, and this would be really, really great, on hill climb races. In winter, focus on extreme rally, drifting on frozen lakes, and technical races on snowy mountain roads with sports cars, all-wheel drive like Subaru, Nissan, Skyline, etc. So, some little bits of info that are nice, even though I think a lot of us are waiting for a real trailer. With the confirmation of the first new cars, the size, the map, and the new features. Meanwhile, any info we can get on Forza Horizon 6 is welcome. I wanted to quickly mention Assetto Corsa Evo, which will soon get its 0.4 update teased at the Sim Racing Expo. There, we already have some confirmed information, which is pretty cool, like the fact that Assetto Corsa Evo's 0.4 will include the Ferrari F40 Competizione and maybe also the regular F40, which would be really cool. Also, this Assetto Corsa Evo update will add the Nürburgring, including its long version, the Nordschleife. We don't know when it's going to arrive, but we know it will be available to try. This month at the Sim Racing Expo, attendees can preview test version 0.4. We know that version 0.4 of the Nordschleife won't enable the open world yet. Many players are waiting for this because it's what the developers have been talking about. We know we'll have a huge open world set around the Nordschleife, shops, accessible features, and car rentals aren't planned for version 0.4, but the Nordschleife will be included. This means the open world likely won't arrive this year, unlike what was more or less announced at the launch of Early Access. Version 0.4 will add a ranked multiplayer system, likely including a ranked multiplayer beta with ranks. A Hello system that will probably change over the coming months, because there's a good chance that with player feedback, the ranked experience will still be deeply changed. Multiclass, the F40, and the Nordschleife are confirmed. Great news.